Welcome back to the channel. I know it's been kind of a hiatus since there's been any content. I've been really busy. My cameraman Busy's been really busy. We actually had some stuff that had filmed and didn't turn out. So, you know, things happen and it's been a little bit. I missed you. Hope you missed me. This isn't anything professional. I was actually getting ready to paint this gun. This is a Mark 18 Block 2 from Type A that I've been shooting for a little bit. And it's going to be in an upcoming video. And I looked at it, I was like, you know what? Mark 18s, they just need to be painted for me to think they're cool. So I was getting ready to paint it. And I remember that somebody asked in a video, you know, how do I go about painting rifles? Because if you look back, this Mark 18-ish build that I did for my cheap Just As Good gun, I've painted this. Going on down to the ugliest B&T APC9 in the world. I painted this right after I got it. Oh, there goes the gun. And so someone was asking how I did that. And I know I'm out of frame here. This is not professional at all. I also just got this Mark 18 Mod 0, I think they call it, from Type A, which is a really sweet gun. Also going to be an upcoming video. They did the rattle can job on this, not me. But anyway, long story short, I think that all guns in the 10.3, 10.5 range, they just look so much cooler when they're rattle can. So this Block 2 version from Type A was getting painted, and I figured I'd show you. So I've already done some prep on it. I'm not super professional. I don't care. I know that this paint is going to wear off, and that's kind of what makes it cool. So the prep that I do, I took off the optic. I have a Vortex Huey on here. I'm not sure if that optic's going to live on this gun, so I don't want to have to clean paint off or repaint over it. So I took that off. This Surefire for now is living on here. I don't care if it gets paint on it, so that's staying. All I do is tape up the front of the light, close the dust cover, and then this OSS can is going to live on this gun because it just... You'll see in the review, but it just works perfectly with this gun. So that's going to live on it, and I want to paint it to match. Also, the SBA3, I took off the Velcro because the paint doesn't stick on the Velcro, so I add the Velcro strap for this arm brace, as long as we have them ATF for this arm brace so I can paint over it. So you paint guns, in my opinion, the only reason I paint guns is because it looks cool. It's going to be more interesting on video, going to have a little more battle-worn look, but I know that there's like a whole theory behind, and I know it's not just theory, but you paint your guns so that it's not the typical black outline of a gun, or in this case, black and gray outline against your body. So you paint it for the environment that you're in. So obviously this is like a desert environment. You know, I'm just a LARPer, so you know, that's not really for anything other than just being cool and being kind of part of the cloner world. So I'm just going to paint it. I am going to go with a gray, dark green, and black scheme. It's really easy. For my gray, I'm using a flat gray primer. This is like a really, really flat gray paint, and it's also what just happens to be in my garage. So flat gray primer. They have camouflage paint. When you're doing it, you want to make sure that the paint is as flat as possible. So you don't want to use matte paint because matte or gloss still is going to reflect. So Rust-Oleum has camouflage paint. So I've got camouflage black and camouflage, I don't know what it is, but we're going to find out when it goes on there. So really just going for more of like an urban, you know, if you're in and around buildings, I don't know. Honestly, it's just to look cool. So I've got the gun hanging up here in my garage. The first step that I'm going to do is degrease it. I also closed the dust cover. Type A painted it with the dust cover open so that the bolt carrier doesn't reflect or something. I don't know, whatever. But I'm just going to start off with some throttle body and air intake cleaner. I like this. You could use brake free, whatever, but you just want to degrease it so that whatever you put on here, you know, actually sticks. So I'm just going to spray it real good with this because it's an acetone and alcohol mix, and since it's for auto parts, it's not going to, you know, break down any of the plastic, the tape, any of the rubber. So it's not going to hurt any of that stuff, but it dries in 30 seconds so we can get to painting and make it quick. So yeah, it is throttle body. I don't know if you can see it from there. Throttle body and air intake cleaner. I just spray the whole gun down with it. Hang on, there's a little bit of shiny parts here. I'm gonna spray it again. Especially right around here. Sometimes you'll get stuff coming out. Oh, also a little thing. When I paint my guns, I typically leave it on safe. Wait, yeah, I'm on safe. That way, there's a little space underneath my safety, on my ambi safety, that's unpainted, and it's a visual cue for me that when the gun is sitting across the room or sitting on a table, when I go like this, there'll be a little unpainted gap there, and it'll kind of break up the pattern, and that'll tell me that the gun is not on safe. So I don't know if it matters. It's just how I do it. Do whatever you want. And oh yeah, hair dryer, gotta have this. What the hell? Oh, there we go. It said 30 seconds, but it's not drying in 30 seconds. So the hair dryer, crucial. All right, I don't remember if I said this before, but I'm leaving the can on here, the OSS, because it just fits this gun so well. It's a perfect can for this setup, and I want kind of the whole outline to be the same color. Also, if it looks like crap, I can always just strip it right off the can. That'll be super easy. And then when it heats up, the end of it's gonna start here and work its way back. The paint's actually gonna like melt off, which is kind of a cool look over time. So that's all there is to it. Paint it, and now I'm gonna prime it or paint it with the matte gray or the flat gray primer. I like to hang my guns up. Sometimes I'll set them on the ground, like on a tarp, and paint them on the ground. The problem is the paint will drip and it'll pool at different parts. Does it matter? No, on a rattle can job, but I do want it to look, you know, semi-respectable, at least for a minute. So here we go. So if you've never been a tagger before, like I'll see people, they'll just like goop the paint on there. You want even strokes if you want it to look respectable for a little bit. Oh yeah, and the other thing too is if you want a mag to match, put the mag in and then you don't have to tape up the mag well. But I'm just gonna go all the way around the gun. Nice, even strokes. Trying to get up in all the little crevasses. When it's hanging up, it's easier to see what parts aren't getting paint on them. Man, that's actually looking pretty sick already. Like a winter themed gun. Yeah, I don't know, I might even be fast forwarding through here. I'm not really super concerned with extra coverage. I'm just gonna, or doing too many layers. Damn, this primer is actually kind of grayish blue. That's sick. I didn't know how this was gonna look. So, I'm not gonna let one layer dry fully and before I do another layer. I'll just do a nice full coat. Oh yeah, the other thing I do, I covered up the lens on the Scout. I cover up the trigger because the paint is eventually gonna peel off, and you know, if there's any oil on there, oil on your finger, I just don't like having a sticky finger, so I cover that up on the one that Type A did, which is now getting paint overspray on it, whatever. It's painted, I don't think it matters. So there you go, and you can see the safety there. Underneath, there's gonna be a nice light gray area. Oh, another thing, little tip, extend the brace or your stock. On this gun here, I didn't have the brace fully extended, so I've got extra black. So when you're painting, doing the paint, extend the brace all the way out. I wonder what this looks like on camera, because with the LED that I've got here, it's almost like a blue-gray. It's like Mr. Freeze's gun or something. This is gonna turn out pretty dope. On other ones, I've removed the charging handle too, and I think I should have done that, but Oh well, whatever. Try not to spray up into the gun too much to get it gummed up, but I just want to make sure that at every angle I've got a full coverage and a nice coat. And you know, it's gonna chip off. I'm never gonna get this gun back to how it looked before. It's anodized and then Cerakoted by Type A. Sorry, I spray painted over all that hard work. So it's never gonna look like it was before now. I'm beyond the point of no return. If I ever decide that it needs to be redone, I'm just gonna have to paint over it. All right, for this part, to get the pattern on there, taking off my watch, getting a trusty latex glove. Don't worry about bending over and coughing or whatever, because I have a system for this where I go outside and I find, you know, maple leaves. I think this is an oak leaf. I don't know. I'm not a botanist. Arborist. I'm not an arborist, so there's a bunch of leaves out on the ground still because I haven't got them all off the ground from last fall. So I'm going to use this. I'm just going to set it here on the gun and go ahead and use the next color, which looks kind of greenish gray. So it's going to be kind of a surprise to all of us what color this is when it comes out. I've already shaken them up, but I'm just going to set the leaf on here and go. Oh, there you go. Yeah, it is kind of a brownish green. So I just move it around until I get, you know, I want to see some different shapes of the gray underneath showing through. Put it here on the can a little bit. So I know people like pay for stencils. I just go out and get a leaf. Let's see. So I'm just trying to break up the outline of the gun. This leaf, that's still doing good. Sometimes they start to get all drippy and I gotta get a new leaf. This one might last the entire gun. What the hell? It's like gold. I don't know. This might not be a very cool color when I take it outside. No, it's all right. That's all right. Okay, so I'm going to get rid of this leaf and I'm going to transition to a new leaf and some black. Because I still want some black in it, but I just want to break up the whole outline, give it some type of a leaves. I call this the leaves and stuff pattern. So I just find leaves and, you know, whatever colors I can. So when I take the leaf, I'm going to put it over the paint that I already did so I can still see that color. I don't want to put it over the same spot because then it looks a little weird. So I'm just going to do this. This black is getting gummed up. I got to switch leaves. I can't believe I'm making a video about spray painting leaves on top of my Type A. Here we go. And I mean, like, yeah, there's little splatters of paint everywhere, but I mean, that's kind of the cool thing. Like, yeah, that just dripped. And it's dripping all over the ground. So now I'm gonna take a look at it. I'm gonna bring this light closer, see what I think so far. Yeah, that is a very blue-gray primer. That's gonna be kind of weird, but whatever. I don't care, it gets the job done. Yeah, so as I'm sitting here looking at this, I don't like it at all. But what I can do is just go through and like they did on, you know, the Type A there, or on the one that Type A actually did, I can just hit it with some lines of black, and that's gonna kind of break up the overall outline of the gun. So let's do that. There you go. All right. Well, now I'm going to let it dry and take off all the tape. I'll put the optic back on, take it outside and see what it looks like in the daytime. But yeah, that's how I paint a gun. It takes like, 10 minutes and the results may vary. So look for this gun coming up soon on a video. So the Type A MK18, Block 2, the Mod 0, got a bunch of stuff coming up, but it's just super busy time in summer to have a lot of videos coming out, been on vacation or whatnot. So yeah, if you want to paint a gun, get her done.